I'm gonna make sure people are on. Boop-a-doo-boo. Boop-a-doo-boo. I hope people are getting on. Oopsie. 0 people. That's crazy. I'll let you guys get on. I'm gonna get started in a minute. Why do I feel like I have to sing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just gonna be a dork. All right, here I come. 2 people. Yes, it's a party. Okay, I'm not gonna we're recording this, just so you know, but I want to make sure there are more people on the call before I get started. Or not, I could just go ahead and go with it. So, welcome to the final week of Bring the Bling. Can you believe it? And I didn't even mess up when I said Bring the Bling. I can even say it fast. Over the past 10 weeks, you have had incredible training, and I don't say that because I was one of the leaders. I really mean it. I'm just impressed by the speakers. I'm thankful that they took the time out of their schedules to share what they love. You know, we asked them specific topics, but we also gave them the freedom to make it their own. And I know that I'm going to go back and rewatch this training and share it with my team and with future coaches, because this is a great resource for you to have to share with your teams and for us to share with our downlines. So think about that. You now have a 10-week Emerald to Diamond, new coach to Diamond, new coach growth, whatever, push group training at your fingertips. And you can access these and say, I went through this, it really helped me. Do a group on your own. So tonight is really about kind of driving it home. And where do you go from here? You know, what's next? So just think back on some of the speakers we've had. Think about how we started this with, excuse me, creating a mindset. All 5 of us were on the call, and we each shared, you know, what it looked like to really go after a dream or a goal. And I've heard a lot of speakers over the past 10 weeks. Went to Cancun, got to be with my team. I've had calls with my coaches talking about what's next. You know, what are their goals and dreams? Because I want to make those my goals. I don't want to set just goals for myself. I want to set team goals and help them grow. Same thing as you guys continue to grow. It's important that you see the big picture, that you see what you are establishing. It's not all about you. It's not about a quick fix. It's not about living in the moment to moment. It is about thinking beyond yourself. So if you know anything about me, you know that I love God. So if that's an issue, you can click off, but stick with me here for a minute because there is a point. I was sitting in church this past week, and the pastor was talking about the circle maker. And yes, it's a book talking about praying circles around your big prayers, but I started to think, I can totally relate this back to Beachbody. I can relate this back to a lot of things that, you know, have to do with this business. I can look at the fact that I'm limiting myself. I am literally just focusing on what's happening today. I'm focusing on the things that didn't go my way. I'm focusing on, you know, a goal that was missed today, next week, this week, and I'm not thinking about the big picture. And so I do have a couple of slides to share with you, and tonight's going to be a little bit shorter just because I really want you to think about a couple of things. Are you limiting yourself? You have all this great training. You have all of these, resources to use as a Beachbody coach. You have your team. You have the energy from this group, from your coaches, from your upline, from the company itself. We had an awesome call with Carl Deichler this week, and it just fires you up to know that that's the vision and that's the person at the helm of this company, right? It does mean that he's not going to stop and just settle for mediocrity. He's going to keep going and really hone in on the focus and the heart of this business, which is helping people live healthy and fulfilling lives. You're a part of that. You are a linchpin in that. Without you, it all falls apart, especially in your team. So, started thinking about this, and I want to share with you because this circle maker isn't just, for me, about prayer. It's about dreaming big. It's about allowing myself to believe that there is so much more out there than my feeble brain can comprehend. So, really quickly, I'm going to share my screen with you, and let's get going. Got messages to my mom open. I've got all sorts of stuff, but I do actually have a presentation created for you guys. So just a second, it's opening. I thought it was open before, I'm sorry. So real quick, we're going to talk about, I'm gonna screen share my desktop. And you guys are going to see my desktop, and I'm going to keep going. So what I want to talk to you about are your dreams big enough? We talked to Amy Silverman last week, and when the topic was brought up to her about, how much would you want to make a week? Like your biggest, wildest, craziest dream ever. And she said $5,000, and her coach says, that's not enough. You are self-limiting yourself. And yes, that's all about money, and that's great. Same thing. Are your dreams big enough? Are you really thinking about where you want to go with this opportunity? Are you understanding what is at your fingertips? So that's something I really want you to think about. Is hitting those 8 coaches and 2 emeralds on each side, was that your only dream? Or was your dream during this group or in this year 5-star? And this was just one step to get you there. Because if it was just those 8 and 2, you're done. Congratulations. Now what? What are you going to do from here? So I want you to think. I loved that this is said in the book. Now just think about it. God isn't offended by your biggest dreams or boldest prayers. He's offended by anything less. If your prayers aren't impossible to you, they're insulting to God because they don't require Him. So what I wanted to hone in on this is if you're not dreaming big enough, it's offensive because what might seem impossible to you is not impossible to God. And so it's not insulting. It is absolutely within your reach. So I don't want you to be, I don't want you to focus on just the day to day. I want you to really believe that there's so much more that you can do and that you can achieve when you give this all up to God, when you give it all up. So look at this. Work like it depends on us and pray like it depends on God. So every day we show up. Every day we do the basic behaviors. Every day we are consistent, right? So that's what we do with belief that there is so much more out there for us, so much more that we are meant to do. And right now, this is something else that really struck me. And just think about it. If I am so caught up in what's happening right now, then that's the only thing on my mind is right now. That's all I'm concerned about. If I cannot move past something someone said or a situation that's out of my control and it is paralyzing me to the point where I cannot move forward, that is self-limiting behavior. If I understand that this is just one speed bump in the grand journey or the grand scheme of things, then it's just a part of what I have to go through to get to my goal. It's what I have to go through to be successful on my journey. And if it's kind of something sucky, that's okay, because I know it's a part of my growth. So when you focus on the bigger picture, the bigger goal, the huge, crazy dream, you know that what happens today is just a part of it. The conversations you have are just a part of what's going to happen in the future. You know, the people who come to you for advice and they might not commit, that's just a part of what's going to happen in the future. You have to look at that as an opportunity for you to grow and an opportunity for you to make new contacts and impact more and more lives. So, how big is your vision? Really, how big is your vision? Because for me, I didn't have any. I think you've heard me say, when someone asked me what my goal was, I just picked something out of thin air that I'd seen somebody else pick, because I didn't have a vision. I had no concept of what a vision was. I had no concept of what this opportunity could possibly be. I hadn't seen anyone. I hadn't been following anyone that was super successful. I hadn't seen anyone post about, any kind of income progression. I had no clue about money. None. So how big is your vision? Unless something is limiting you, I really think it could be as big as, it could be limitless, honestly, but that's hard, right? It's hard when you've never stopped to think about what your dream is and how big your vision could possibly be. That's almost impossible, right? To even wrap your mind around that, because we are so caught up in the day-to-day. We're so caught up in the errands you have to run today. And that's important, but think about this. My husband got so angry with me every time we would talk about the future because I had no vision. I could not see past today because I was so caught up in our little world. And that happens a lot, right? As moms, we just need to get through today so we can make it tomorrow. We just need to get through this soccer practice and this baseball practice and this PTA conference and this field trip and this field day and this semester and yada, 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 right? There are so many things that we've just got to get through today. I've just got to get through my workout. I've got to get through posting in my challenge groups. I just got to get through Tuesday. And then I can focus on Wednesday. No. What if you're going on a trip? What if you're going on a trip and you knew that you would not be around to post in your challenge groups? Would you just flake off, forget it? No, you would plan that out. You would make a plan so that while you were gone, that would be covered. You would think ahead and understand what you have to do in order to be successful for the next 2 weeks that you're gone. So that when you come back, life doesn't suck. You're not completely behind. Same thing here. Look at your calendar. Where do you want to be at the end of the year? Make a big old post. Circle it. Stars, glitter, whatever you have to do. Where do you want to be at the end of the year? And nothing is too big. It can be too small, because mine was. I had self-limiting ideas of myself. My first year, I said, I want to be a 5-star coach. We ended the year at 7-star. I surpassed every goal I set because every day I did the basic behaviors. And yes, I was focused on that 5-star, but because I was working every day diligently, building our team and celebrating every little thing along the way, the team started to grow on its own. And pretty soon it was its own engine. It was its own thing growing. And what's really cool is it didn't stop. It was that momentum that just kept going. And so that allows you to believe that there's so much more, right? So think about for a second, how big is your vision when it comes to this opportunity? How big is your vision when it comes to what you're going to do the rest of this year? Because we have a lot of this year left, over half. That's a ton. When you think about it, it's May. This year is flying by. If you don't decide what you're going to do this year, it's going to pass you by. And then you're going to be left with, I wish I had, I could have. And that's the most horrible feeling to have, is regret. So think about this too. Here we are, we have this amazing opportunity. We live in a culture and we're surrounded by various products and people who are focused on this 15 minutes of fame. You know, they just want a quick fix. They want a pill that fixes something. They want a wrap. They want whatever. And I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but this is true because those things don't last. What are we doing? We are seriously developing relationships. We are helping people change their lifestyle. And today I had so many posts, Transformation Tuesday, here it is, of just excitement that a program they were doing, which was so simple, changing their eating, working out, and having accountability. Simple, was changing their life so drastically and in a way that they hadn't been able to find success ever before. Never. And then this one program was teaching them how to live a victorious, successful, productive lifestyle with a healthy relationship with the food and exercise. Not this like, go crazy and, kill yourself. And then it all goes to hell in a handbasket. It was literally incredible to see how many posts talked about the transformation. Can you imagine if you needed to lose 200 pounds and you said, my biggest goal is to lose 10 pounds? No, your biggest goal is to lose 200, all of it, not just a little bit of it. So you need something that's going to help you with a lifestyle that's going to be sustainable. That's what we do. We don't do something that just fixes or puts a Band-Aid on something. We teach people how to live a healthy lifestyle. Have you, on the cruise last year, it was funny. They ran out of water and they ran out of a lot of their healthier options on the cruise. Why? Because we as Beachbody coaches just naturally seem to have a healthier lifestyle. And then together, that's, multiplied. They ran out of bottled water. And it was hilarious because they're like, we've never had that before. But you Beachbody coaches always want something that's, you're challenging our chefs here because you are wanting healthier dishes and you're wanting more water. And yes, there was alcohol consumption, but you want more of a healthy lifestyle. You want to enjoy your vacation. And so you're picking healthier options. They were floored. And we were the happiest, most complimentary, helpful group they'd ever had as well. Do you see how that goes together? Okay, so I'm getting a little crazy. So this is what I wanted to say as far as your big goals and your big dreams. Much like a quick fix does not bring fulfillment, a lifestyle that means sustained. So same thing, a lifestyle means sustained and long-lasting results. Obviously, I did not proofread that slide. This is what you are offering people. That is absolutely true. Same thing with you dreaming bigger goals and drawing a circle around those goals and dreaming big and having a huge vision. We sit here as top leaders in the company, not just because we sat back and we let things happen. It's because we went after big goals and dreams. And sometimes those dreams didn't make sense. And sometimes we didn't know how they were going to happen, but we had faith that they would. And for me, it was, knowing that God had put me on this path for a reason. And I did not understand why or how or when things were going to happen, but it all seems to come into focus. And when you stay consistent and when you stay dialed in to those behaviors, and when you're focused on relationships, and when you're taking care of yourself and you're doing those everyday behaviors, pretty soon those dreams that seem so far away are actually within your reach. And that's insane. Same thing with your coaches. When you invest in them, you help them see that very same thing, that with time, with belief, those dreams and those goals and that growth and that fulfillment that they've been looking for their family, for their friends, for their coaches on their team, it's going to happen. So this was a 21-day challenge that went along with the Circle Maker. This is, like I said, 21-day challenge, duh. So every time commit to, and some people call it visualizing. really take time to see your dreams. This is a hard one for me. I don't visualize very well. I can read and I can pray and I can highlight my book and I can highlight, whatever personal development I'm doing. But I have a really hard time just sitting and visualizing things. It makes me laugh, but I know it's important and I'm trying. So identify those needs in your life, those dreams, those people that you want to help. This is all part of it. Having a journal that you write these things down allows you to go back and see when you're going to achieve these things. Commit to having a place where you go to every day. Don't just willy-nilly walking around the house. There has to be a place where you find, that peace, where you're comfortable, where this is my time and I'm going to set this aside. And don't let anything or anyone stop you from having this time. Don't try to have this time right in the middle of the kids getting ready for school, because they're going to need you. I mean, be smart. If you need to wake up before everybody else or wait until people go to school, if it needs to be in the middle of the afternoon, whatever time works for you where you're not distracted. Keep a journal. Keep a prayer journal if that is what you need to do, and circle it. Circle the dreams, circle the goal, circle the prayer that you associated with that goal and that dream. And this is the one I love. Persist and never quit. Never. That says don't, but I'm throwing in never. Even on the days when you are just feeling like blah. That was me yesterday. I was like, guys, I'm in a funk. I even said that to people. And I had to pull myself out of it. I had to walk away. I had to fall asleep on the couch and be okay with it. That was my way of taking a break. And this day has been absolutely incredible for no other reason than I was able to fully focus. And I was able to really listen to my groups, to my challengers, to all of the things that people wanted to share with me. And so, what I really wanted to say, and like I said, this is going to be a shorter call. I want you to take the information that you have gleaned from this last 10 weeks. There's still 1 week left. The deadline is May 19th for you guys to get your 8 coaches and your 2 emeralds and be in the running for our big pot. But more than that, I'm excited that you're growing, because that's the point of this group. But more than that, what's next? What's in the future? What do you need to focus on that might be scary? Even if it's 5 years from now, is your goal to build a home? Really? Even if you have no idea when or where or how it's going to happen. Is your goal to send both of your kids to school paying cash, college? Wow, that's kind of mine. I'm working towards that. I don't know how. I'm not quite sure what that looks like yet, which school they'll go to, how we're going to make it happen, but that is a goal of mine. And to be able to help my family if my husband is going to retire. What does that look like for us? What do we have to have in place? Those were things that were never even options for us before Beachbody. Now I get to dream. And that's what I want you guys to really focus on is I really want you to dream big and not limit your vision, not be that self-limiting person that can't see past today. And so I don't know if this resonated with anybody, but that's just what was on my heart that needed to be said, was it's hard to dream. It's hard to have goals. It really, really is. And it's something that you've got to get over. It's something that might feel stupid and silly. But goodness, I've seen so many people blow past their dreams and visions with this coaching opportunity. And I think that's what's so exciting is we get to share that with people. We get to say, I honestly can tell you that if you put the time in and you really believe that you are going to just do incredible things, not just for you, but for every single person whose life you touch. And I can't promise you you'll be the most successful coach ever, but I can promise you that it'll change your life. I can. Because I get to see it every day when that light bulb goes off or when someone makes a change in someone else's life. That's what we do. So think about doing that for the next 10 years. Think about what that could possibly look like. Think about where we are right now as a company, as a team. Think about where you could possibly be. Here's the thing I want to leave you with. I never, we didn't go on vacations. You know, let me clarify that. We didn't go on vacations that involved real travel. We would get in our car and we would go, and because that's what we could afford, and even paying for gas was a stretch. That's what we did as a family. And it was mostly go see family. You know, we didn't do anything elaborate because, gosh, staying in a hotel was ridiculous. And paying for tickets to places, we just couldn't do it. It would have to be like 1 day or 2 days, and then we'd have to leave. And granted, that is a blessing. That is something that, you know, not a lot of people get to do, and we were completely blessed. But to be able to think about going on a real vacation with my husband, which is going to happen soon, and being able to plan that and do a dream vacation, that was something that was never even on my dream board. No, it was. I said vacation with Chris 2 years ago, and it's happening. I didn't know when it was going to happen. I didn't know what vacation it was going to be. I didn't know where we were going to go, but it was a dream. And it seemed far-fetched because we don't get a lot of time with his job. And even when we do, it sometimes gets taken away. And so it's really cool when you get to realize a dream. It's a little scary. And so what's the next dream going to be? What's the next goal going to be? Don't limit yourself. That's really what I want you to understand here, is don't be the thing that is the roadblock for you. Don't be the thing that holds you back. Even if you don't understand how it's going to happen, even if you have to call coach relations and you're just ticked off all the time, I get it. I was there. I called 5 times a day crying every time, and I asked for a supervisor. That's just life. And you know what? I had to make it happen. I had to make it happen because I knew I was going to keep going. There was nothing that was going to stop me. Don't let anything stand in your way. If you have a big, huge dream, first you have to have the big, huge dream. So I hope that, you know, you're able to look back and maybe learn a little something from this. But it just really struck me when I was sitting there in church on Sunday and he was talking about having big, huge prayers and big, huge dreams that were unfathomable, and that nothing is too big for God. That was exactly what I needed to hear that day. And so I was like, I really want to share that with you and have it relate back to Beachbody. Nothing's impossible. I truly believe that. I'm sitting in a room surrounded by the proof of that. So remember, May 19th is that's Wednesday. In order to wake up with your 8 new coaches and 2 emeralds, you need to put your name on the list by the 21st, just because we're not going to hunt you down. And then we'll start gathering information to make sure that we take care of you and that pot. So get your name on there and give it your all this week. And I want to hear about those big, huge goals that you have. In fact, in the comments on Bring the Bling, I want you to put down 3 things that maybe you got from this call. And then if you're comfortable enough, share your big dream for the rest of the year, like December 31st, big dream. Yeah, December 31st. That's a few months away. You can do it. You've got this. So see you on the page, and good night.